Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And today we're going to talk about Thirst, which is an Icelandic horror film about a girl who befriends a gay vampire. And when I say gay vampire, I don't just mean it is a vampire that is attracted to men, which it is. It is also a vampire that only feeds on men. So it is a male vampire that feeds on men and is attracted to men, and because it only feeds on men, she's safe from it, and they become best friends.
Yeah, this is the Citizen Kane of fucking crazy gay bondage vampire movies.
Yes. This is not to be confused with the multitude of other movies called Thirst. When you go to search for it on Google, type in like Thirst 2020 or Thirst 2019 or Thirst Iceland, something like that, because when I was trying to look up information on this movie, it was really hard to find because of all the other Thirsts.
Yeah. If you want to know if you're watching the right movie, if it starts out with two guys sucking cock in a car,
yeah, that's the movie.
That's the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. This movie, oh man, okay. So, this movie kind of falls into a category of movies that, to use a term from one of Jack's old videos, this is a gooder movie.
This is a gooder movie, yeah.
But this is a gooder movie that is also legit good. For those of you who haven't been around since we began doing our stuff way back in the day, a gooder movie is essentially a so bad it's good movie.
It takes its ridiculous premise to 11.
Absolutely. And it also encompasses some movies that aren't necessarily bad, but are so ridiculous that you don't know what else to call them.
Yeah, like Piranha 3D, Hobo with a Shotgun. Those were the top two of that.
Those are good examples of gooder movies.
Gooder movies that are actually good. You know?
I would put this in the category
is one of them. Yeah.
Of actually good while also being gooder. Because this is... I do not feel bad spoiling this because this happens in like the first 20 minutes of the movie. But this is a gooder movie about a gay vampire that eats dicks.
Yeah. Just literally. like literally. He just literally eats dicks.
I don't think I've seen a movie with this many severed penises. Like, I'm telling you.
Oh, no. This is a record. This is a new record.
Like, it may just be the same 3 severed penis props they reuse over and over again, but they do reuse them over and over again.
Yeah. They're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are at least 6 severed cocks on screen.
Exactly. So if you're the kind of person who the idea of a vampire movie with a lot of castration sounds like your bag, you gotta watch this movie.
Dude, this movie also has like a one perfect shot moment.
Oh, yes.
Because very early on, now it happens very early on in the movie, but I don't know where else you would want to put this because just strap in, kids. Yeah. Because at one point, the vampire rips the dick off of 2 guys.
Yeah.
And then vampire speeds at the camera with the dicks in his hand. He's like, ah!
Yeah. It's a beautiful fucking shit. And this is, again, in like the first 15 minutes of the movie, this is what's telling you what you're in store for the rest of the movie.
Yeah. One of the things I really dug is that the vampire was really obviously intended to look a little bit like Rob Halford.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know?
He's got a little bit of that Rob Halford. Absolutely. He also looks kind of like what a lot of movies make Renfield look like.
Yeah. Because he's not like a fantastically good-looking guy.
No. No, he's not.
You know, he's just kind of this. It's interesting because like it's very obvious they were like, hey, every like scene has like that, one kind of a lone older gay dude. Mm-hmm. Things ain't worked out so well. Some shit's gone down. Yep. He seems like an okay guy, like it's just very obviously that's who this character is.
Now, one thing I will tell you, this is not a movie that will tell you anything about the human spirit. It is not a movie that like dives into deep themes or anything like that. This is a movie that is 100% a there's drama there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There's drama there. Don't get me wrong. But this is a movie where they're having fun with the premise.
Yeah.
And trying to see how far they can take some of the ideas.
Yeah. It's got a lot of storytelling aesthetics that you're more used to seeing in like trauma film.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. But like it almost feels. I don't know what its budget was. It's an Icelandic film, so who knows? But like. It's a higher budget feeling than Trauma.
Yeah. This definitely feels like fucking it looks like they took like, I don't know, like a $100,000 movie and made it look like $1 million movie.
It looks great. Even with the really goofy ass shot, which is amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that sets the stage.
But you could tell that shot was goofy on purpose.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like,
they were like, oh yeah, no, this is gonna look so stupid. It's gonna be amazing.
There's like no accidents with this movie. They're doing it intentionally.
I want a still frame of that scene. I will frame it in my house.
And put it up on the wall. Find that guy and get him to sign it.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Holy shit. I have not been so happy to see a single shot in a movie ever in a long-ass time.
Oh, yeah. Like, when I watched this first by myself, and I eventually got Jack to watch it. And the way we got Jack to watch it was I showed him the opening scene and up until that scene.
Yeah.
Basically the first 15 minutes of the movie. And it's just like, this is the movie. And he's just like, all right, I'm in.
All right, man.
Let's
finish this.
Let's finish this movie. This movie, okay, there's a funny aspect to this movie that is totally just a cultural thing and has nothing to do with anything. But for like a huge chunk of this movie, I was playing this fun game watching the movie where I was just like, is that character a vampire? Or are they just Icelandic?
Or just Icelandic, yeah.
Because
a lot of fucking like tall pale dudes in this.
A lot of tall pale dudes in like leather jackets and stuff like that. And I'm looking at them going like, that guy could be a vampire. That guy could be a vampire. She could be a vampire. Nah, they're just Icelandic.
Yeah, just Icelandic people. And then you find yourself going, yeah, that'd probably be a good place to hide.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. It'd be a great place to hide. Everyone looks like a vampire here, you know? There's gonna be some Icelandic people in the comments going like, what are you talking about? I am a vampire. We're all vampires. That's our secret.
That's the secret. Yep. Well, you think Let the Right One In was a documentary.
Yeah.
And the events happened in real time.
That was Norway, though, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Or maybe it was Sweden. It was one of them.
It was Sweden.
Now I'm racist. I've seen them all up.
Look, it's one of them Scandinavia countries.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
this movie also has a lot more that happens in it than just the vampire. There's also this cop that's trying to like track down the vampire because there's all these murders that are happening that are connected to the vampire.
Yeah.
But they think it's the girl that befriends the vampire because she was kicked out of her home because her brother had a drug overdose. And everyone's convinced that, like, because the brother was such a goody two-shoes guy, that it's her fault.
Yeah.
And
whereas as the story progresses, while they never give you a direct answer, it becomes very clear that what probably happened was they got high, she passed out, he overdosed.
Exactly. That's the vibe I got.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also like this satire of like religious televangelists in this.
Yeah.
There's a character who's basically a televangelist, but like a local televangelist, not like one of those nationwide ones.
Yeah.
But like a local one in this specific city that the movie takes place in. And like she's also obsessed with tracking down the vampire and all that stuff. And all those scenes were hilarious.
Oh yes.
You know, this movie takes the piss out of the overly religious while it's going on.
I would love to see this on like Joe Bob's Last Drive.
Oh, this would be a perfect Joe Bob.
Yeah.
If he hasn't already done this movie, I don't know.
I don't think he has.
But if he hasn't, he should. This would be a perfect Joe Bob.
It'd also be a great double feature with Fried Berry.
Oh yeah.
Because, you know, it's old guys doing wacky shit.
The vampire gave me a very similar vibe, you know?
Yeah. Because like, you know, he's a little. This vampire is he's a little awkward.
Yeah.
You know, and whereas with Fried Berry, he's just sort of like just super odd. This guy's just sort of like he's just awkward because he doesn't like really get people, and he's used to being alone his entire existence.
I also just kind of like this movie's unique sense of humor. Like There's a point in which the vampire, of course, you know, when you have stories where people like befriend each other, there's always going to be that point in the plot in which their friendship breaks a little bit. And in that tragic moment in this movie, you have the vampire having this like mental breakdown in like a cornfield.
Yeah.
But like, it's like playing like this like 80s style pop song while he's doing it.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those 80s style pop songs that has that kind of spooky atmosphere to it. So it's like this is like the goth like
yeah. It's like that moment in The Crow where the guy's like fucking where Eric is like destroying
but a
the
lot more
apartment.
goofy.
Yeah, but a lot stupider. You know.
And I just thought this movie was a riot and a half. I really enjoyed it. We watched it. I'm pretty sure we watched it on Shudder. I'm pretty sure this was a Shudder movie that we watched.
I think so.
It was one of the streaming platforms. I know that.
Yeah. It was one of the streaming platforms that isn't shy about having like foreign language films.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Shudder. But I think it's also available on some other platforms if you want to rent it. So go check it out and see for yourself. I don't think there was any animals that died in this. Just a whole lot of severed penises.
Yeah, any animal death is like severely overshadowed.
Check for yourself at doesthedogdie.com, but I'll tell you right now, you're gonna have a hard time finding this movie because searching for this movie is a pain.
Oh God, yeah.
There's so many different movies called Thirst, not the least of which being another really great vampire movie from Korea called Thirst. So like even searching Thirst vampire doesn't help.
Yeah, you're still gonna get like a lot of mixed shit.
But just like proceed with caution with that. But I don't think any animals die in this movie. It's mainly people. It is a whole lot of people and a whole lot of severed dicks.
Yeah,
you know, that's the way the movie rolls.
Yeah, and you can't really spoil this movie because because this is another movie where it's like the experience is watching it.
Oh, 100%. There are some things I'm going to talk about in the spoiler section, though. But yeah, it is true. Even if you know things that are going in, the experience is everything. Like
it's a roller coaster.
Absolutely. And so with that being said, let us actually move on to the spoilers. And we'll talk about some of the stuff we haven't talked about yet. Okay,
so...
All right, one of the things we haven't talked about yet is how, like, the weird televangelist chick is married to the cop?
Yeah.
So the cop that's tracking down the vampire is married to the televangelist chick, and they both want to track down the vampire for different reasons. But then you also have, like, the televangelist chick and the cop's daughter, who apparently was in America training to hunt evil. And she comes back, and she teams up with the televangelist chick to try to hunt down the vampire and kill the great evil and all that stuff. But then it turns out she's, like, formed her own satanic cult.
Yeah.
Because the only way to defeat the evil is to embrace the evil so the evil won't kill you.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like, this weird fucking, like twist. So at the very end, it's the vampire versus the satanic cult that wants to sacrifice the girl. And, like...
Yeah, it gets really, really strange. You know?
And the cop ends up being bitten at some point and turns into a vampire, and so he's this big fat vampire, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
Fat vampires aren't a common thing.
No.
So fat vampire guy, I appreciate it.
Oh man, it's how to put it. This movie does have a very coherent plot, but let's be honest, that's not why you're watching.
No, that's not why.
It's not why you're watching.
Like, the plot is well scripted and stuff. I did have one question, though. There is one, like, moment that stands out to me as, why did that happen? What the fuck? And it's not even anything to do with the vampire. There's a point in which the daughter of the televangelist gets off the plane and gets into a taxi cab and then is on the way to meet the televangelist chick. And the taxi cab driver tells her this weird story.
Oh, yeah.
About, like, Antler Woman.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're like, what the? It's a whole like animated sequence.
It's an animated sequence.
And it's just like, what the fuck is going on?
It's like if the backstory to the Krampus in Krampus happened, but it had nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Like you have this whole animated sequence, and I'm just sitting there going like, I honestly have no idea. I watched it twice. I watched it with Jack a second time just to see if that thing comes back later on in the movie. It doesn't. No, I have no idea.
No, it just comes right out of nowhere.
Why the antler woman story happens.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're just like,
I was entertained by it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, one thing you can say about this movie, it ain't boring.
No,
you know,
it's the last thing in the world. This movie is boring, you know. And I love that the movie. There's a point in the movie later on where you're like, man, he hasn't severed a dick in a while,
and that's when it comes back.
Yep.
Like they timed that shit like a good running gag.
You know, so he goes to a gay bar, he hooks up with a gay guy and rips off his dick, and I'm like, oh, thank you, movie. I was missing the severed dicks. One thing we didn't tell you early on in this vlog is that, like, when he's running with those two penises, he ends up putting those two penises in two cops' mouths.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He fucking shoves them into two cops' mouths.
And for the rest of the fucking movie, these two guys are having, like, this horrible, like, heterosexual crisis.
Yeah. And they're being mocked by one of the lady cops. One of the lady cops who turns out to be part of the satanic cult, which by the end of the movie turn good and are defending the girl. It's weird.
It's very weird. Yeah.
There's a lot of plot in this movie. But trust me, that's not why you're here.
Yeah.
I also didn't mention early on in the movie that there's a point in which the vampire, when he's befriending the girl, he gets her a hot dog from this hot dog stand because she has no money, and so he steals a hot dog, turns the hot dog stand vendor into a vampire, takes the hot dog, gives her a hot dog, then has a hot dog for himself, but he can't eat the hot dog, so he pushes the hot dog out and puts a penis on it, and then eats that thing whole. And if that doesn't sell you on this movie, nothing will.
Yo, so fun. It would be so fun.
So many cocks, so many dicks. I sincerely hope, because I know when you make a movie like this, I hope that someone on the set kept those severed penises.
Oh yeah, I hope so. Yeah. You know,
the recent season of Slasher had David Cronenberg on it. And David Cronenberg dies in the first season in this season of Slasher. It's not really a spoiler. It happens like in the first few episodes. And he got to keep his dead body prop and actually made a short film out of it. There's like a short film on like YouTube right now called like David Cronenberg is Dead or something like that. Like, I'll put the name right here, what the actual name is. and it's all because he kept that severed prop, kept that dead body prop.
Oh man!
So in that same vein, I hope someone kept all the severed penises from this as trophies because I would have them pride.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. That'd be like, it's like, why would you want that? Why would you not?
Why wouldn't you?
You know,
I have all the severed penises from Thirst. Who doesn't want that?
Want that shit? Yeah. That's gonna be like having the original facehugger alien.
Exactly.
You know?
Like that's it's a must-have. This movie's fucking fun. I love it. Like, I don't know what else there is to really spoil about the movie. Like, there's a satanic cult that was part of a televangelist thing. After he defeats them. Oh yeah, that's another thing. There's an implication in this movie that the main vampire guy is more than just the main vampire.
Yeah.
Like, you get the impression that he might either be the first vampire or like a famous vampire because he's not as easily killable as the other vampires.
Yeah. Some of the other vampires, you could like destroy them. This guy just keeps coming back.
You can decapitate them. You can, like, one of them he just guts.
Yep.
Like, he guts and the guts spill out like in this gnarly fucking graphic gore sequence, and that vampire dies. He gets like stabbed with a stake and survives it.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, stay till the end credits, like past the end credits. There's actually a little teaser at the end of the credits.
Yeah.
So you get the impression that he's more than just a normal vampire, because all the other vampires can clearly die other ways.
Yeah.
You know, because like fucking cultist chick also turns herself into a vampire, and he just fucking kills her.
Yep.
You know, it's like it's fucking nothing. That's another thing. I don't think I stressed this enough early on in the movie, but I thought that the penises might imply it. This movie's gory as all shit, especially in the last half. In the first half, you get a lot of severed penises. In the second half, you get a lot more gore. Like,
Yeah.
especially when he's going to save the girl from the cult, and he's like killing them all left and right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's at core, it's a story about befriending a monster, and that friendship has like ups and downs.
It has ups and downs, you know?
Ups and downs.
Because, oh, that's right. There's the whole plot where he tries to help her by saving her brother.
Her brother,
Her
yeah.
brother who OD'd and turning him into a vampire, but he was too far gone.
Yeah.
That thing that some vampire stories do where you can turn someone after they've died if you can... And he tries to do that, but he's been dead too long. So
Yeah, so he's just
a brain dead monster.
yeah, he's just like he's like Frankensteining all over the place.
Yep.
You know.
This is why they have their friendship falling out.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the brother does end up going to kill the mom.
Yeah, you know, like
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, mom was also kind of a bitch and kicked her out and blamed her for the brother's OD.
Yeah, but I did kind of appreciate that. Like, why did you do that? Why did you bring him back and have him kill my mom? It's like, I didn't know that would happen.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I didn't know that would happen.
I thought maybe if we fed him a little bit of food, he would come too.
He'd be okay. Sometimes happens. It didn't. I definitely didn't see him going back to kill your mom, though.
This is like a robot with a heart of gold story, but about a vampire.
Yes. Yeah, and he's trying.
He's trying. So anyway, Thirst, I'm pretty sure we watched it on Shudder. Go check it out. You will not be disappointed. This movie is a blast if you like these kinds of movies. And with that said, where can they find you, Count Jackula?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Counting Jackula. You can find me on Twitch at Count_Jackula, where I stream twice a week on Thursdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can also find me on Instagram at Satanic Jackula. How about you?
Y'all know me, I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on Twitch, on Twitter, on Instagram, and Facebook. Just look up the Horror Guru or Blood Splattered Cinema and I'll be there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you would like to help out either of us more directly, then be sure to check out our Patreon pages. And remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, then even $1 a month can go a long way. And if you made it this far into the vlog, then I want you to comment below with the hashtag HotDogDick? Hashtag HotDogDick?
Hot dog dick, yeah.
Yeah. Comment below with the hashtag HotDogDick so that I know, so that Jack knows, so that everyone knows that you watch this vlog all the way through. And it actually helps me if you do watch the vlog all the way through because it's just better for my analytics and the video gets promoted more. So, yeah, please do that. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, we're going to try to record one more vlog and, see where things go. Peace out.
I just realized now I want a movie where fucking Rob Halford plays gay vampire.
Oh man, I'd watch the shit out of that.
Yeah. You
Oh
know?
man, that'd be great. I want a remake of Martin where he's gay.
Ah, yeah. Just go ahead and do that. Yeah.
Like cross it with like Cruising, but without the bad parts.
Yeah. I actually, Cruising's, that's one of those movies that I'm like, I like this movie, but, huh?
That movie's a definition of problematic.
Yes.
That movie's the definition of problematic.
Yes, it is.
You know.